Welcome to the Dynasty Dugout Show, a podcast covering all things minor league baseball. Get a front row seat to the action with everything you need to know about the future stars of Major League Baseball. And now, here's your host, Chris Clegg.
Hello and welcome to the show. It's Monday, it's June 2nd, it's a new month, and man, where's the season going? Hard to believe it's already June. Hard to believe we're already over 2 months in. But let's soak it in. Summer baseball is upon us. Minor league baseball action is in full swing. Good sample sizes. Everything that you need to know. We're going to break it down. Obviously, coming out of the weekend, there were a ton of notable things that happened this weekend, and we're here to catch you up. You can go check out the article for more in-depth at thedynastydugout.com. But we'll give you all the info here as well. Just some quick hits because there's lots of players to hit on. But first, before we do so, you know, the show is brought to you by Connect Roasters. Connect Roasters is Ian Happ's coffee company. And the coffee is incredibly good, incredibly smooth blend of coffee. You want to go check them out. They do great things as well. They give back to the community. It's a great company to support. So go to connectroasters.com, use the code DynastyDugout at checkout or the link in the description and get yourself 2 bags of the Gold Glove blend. Buy one, get one 50% off. So it's a pretty good deal. We're also proud to partner with Chinook Seedery, the best sunflower seeds in the game. Chinook's got a wide variety of flavors. You'll find one you'll love. I'm certain of it. You can get 10% off your order at chinookseedery.com using the code DynastyDugout. All right. It's DSL opening day. We'll break that down tomorrow. But here we are. We have a lot to cover on the complex and full season ball side. But I want to start with a complex player because this guy is lighting it up. That's Ching-Hsien Ko of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ko is probably one of the more intriguing players out there. He's 18. He's got an impressive build already. It's co-signed last summer, midseason, is a 17-year-old. He got a $750K deal. This is a half Taiwanese and half South African. Like, pretty interesting. But upon signing, he went to DSL last year. He was good, not great, but you could see the skill set. Now, remember, this kid was thrown in the Dominican, like new culture, new world, like he signed and immediately went. So I understand like reasons why he may have struggled. And the results are fine. He slashed 241, 454, 48, but Ko looks really, really good this year in the complex. Projectable power in a 6'3", 215-pound frame. He runs well. It's good bat-to-ball skills, a good approach, and yeah, Ko had 7 hits over the weekend between Friday and Saturday. He's slashing 455, 548, 667 with a homer and 2 steals. It's a very good approach, very good contact skills, and he's walked as often as he's struck out. So yeah, we obviously take these stats at the complex with a grain of salt, but Ko is 18, and he's looking pretty impressive. So keep an eye on him. So let's dive in on some pitchers. I said on a lot of games this weekend, and honestly, some not good, not bad baseball, but I got to talk about Tanner McDougal. Tanner McDougal was electric this weekend. He's a Chicago White Sox pitcher, big frame. He's probably like 6'5", 250, like very sturdy frame, and he absolutely shoved. It's not the first time I've seen Tanner McDougal. Saw him last year as well, but this year McDougal is ticked up in like every sense. Like I went to Spartanburg to watch Braden Montgomery and Haral Perez, but he was impressive. McDougal stole the show. That's McDougal. He dominated for 7 innings, 7 scoreless, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts. He needed 83 pitches to complete the 7 innings, and he landed 77% of his pitches for strikes. So very impressive work there. But what was the most notable thing about McDougal is that he set 97, 98 for all 7 innings, and he clipped 100. Curveball's dominant. Like, that's a downward breaking pitch that has a lot of good traits to it that you like to see. He missed a lot of bats with that. He threw an upper 80s slider as well, and even a changeup, but he didn't throw the changeup too often, so you got to take note of that. But McDougal has a 12% walk rate on the year, but if he can throw strikes like he did on Saturday, he's going to be really good. I enjoyed watching him, and I was like, okay, this is what I love about going to a minor league game, is that you see things, and it's like, yeah, like this guy is just, he has the potential if it all clicks. And sometimes, like, obviously I knew the name Tanner McDougal. I've said on starts with him before, but sometimes you go to a game and it's like, whoa, like this dude is killing it. So, Tanner McDougal, Chicago White Sox, 22-year-old in high A, he's good. Get to know that name. Trey Gibson probably had the best start of the weekend. That's a Baltimore Orioles high A arm. He dominated. He was actually an undrafted free agent in 2023 out of Liberty. He didn't even pitch in 2023, but the Orioles still took a shot on him, and it's paid off majorly. He earned a promotion to Double-A today, actually. He's older, so he looked 23 high A. Okay, I get it. He got promoted to Double-A, so congrats to Trey Gibson for that. He struck out 13 batters and didn't issue a walk in 6 innings of work on Sunday. He generated 12 whiffs, about 21 called strikes. He faced Brooklyn, by the way. That's the Mets high A, and Brooklyn is loaded with talent. So, got to take note of that and say, this is pretty impressive stuff from Trey Gibson. And he has, if you look at the season-long numbers, it's not great. So, it's one of those cases where you ignore that and you look past it and you say, it's a guy that throws a 94-mile-an-hour fastball with good traits. He has 7 feet of extension. He's got a really good slider with good sweep around 85. He's got an 80-mile-an-hour curveball with depth. Throws a cutter with carry. And he's got a changeup. It's around 90 as well. So it's really good stuff from Trey Gibson. We'll see what he does in Double-A, but Gibson is moving up my boards. The Orioles pitch dev, done it again. Nestor Herman, Braxton Bragg, Trey Gibson might be next. So I really liked what I saw from him. Now Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson of the Angels, who they shocked the world. They sent the guy to the majors out of spring training, despite not pitching in the minors at all. He was drafted last summer, didn't pitch after being drafted, and he broke camp with the team in the bullpen role. He was really bad, by the way, 7.36 ERA and a near 2 whip, 1.98. He's built up innings. He went back to high A, actually, after getting demoted, which is pretty rare. I'm not sure we can say very often that we've seen a player get demoted from the majors and go to high A, unless it was a rehab assignment. But Johnson went to high A. He's building up innings, and he struck out 10 batters while walking just 1, allowed 4 hits and 1 walk, 22 whiffs. I mean, very dominant stuff. Johnson's got an intriguing arsenal of pitches. If you look at what he brings to the table, it's semi-interesting. I actually think they're doing right by him to develop him as a starter in the minors. I get it. They absolutely want to see what they had in the bullpen, but why? I mean, this was a competitive team. So, doing right by him is sending him down, letting him work, letting him develop, and it looked really good. So, cutter first arm, it's not a lot of velocity. The sinker sits 94. The cutter sits 91. He's got a pretty good sweeper, though. I think Johnson can be pretty fascinating. He threw a splitter a little bit in the majors. I don't have the pitch data from yesterday's start, but I think Johnson, see where it goes. I mean, it's worth a shot there. I also want to talk about Ryan Gallagher. Let's get some names that people aren't familiar with. Ryan Gallagher of the Cubs was a big riser up my prospect rankings, and for good reason. I mean, he's been dominant. He was drafted out of UC Santa Barbara last year in the 6th round. He didn't pitch last year, so his pro debut is happening right now, and he's looked really good. He's a 2.92 ERA on the year, and he had 6 1/3 innings of 1-run ball this weekend. His strikeout rate's north of 32% right now. Good command. He's walked just 7% of batters he's faced. Yes, he's in high A. I get it, college draftee high A, but there's other college draftees in high A right now that people don't bat an eye at. Gallagher has also seen a jump in stuff. So last year at UC Santa Barbara, Gallagher averaged 89 miles an hour. Now it worked because he averaged 22 inches of IVB on the fastball. It's not a 6'4" release height, so it's not otherworldly IVB, but it's very good IVB from a 6'4" release height. Now, the fastball is up. I've watched a couple of his starts, and he's 91, 95, so he's routinely probably sitting 92.5, 93, but he's clipping some 5s, and he's getting down to 1s, which is much better than 89. So we'll take it. You like to see that IVB still maintaining. He's got a pretty good curveball with good depth in the upper 70s. It's kind of like a 12-6 shape. And there's a slider as well for Ryan Gallagher, low 80s pitch. So Ryan Gallagher is definitely a name to know. Gallagher. Ryan Gallagher, the Chicago Cubs right-handed pitcher. One more. This is just one of those episodes where we get some lesser-known names, but Gage Stanifer, man, Toronto Blue Jays arm, he's been good. He was dominant in single A in Dunedin. He needed the promotion. He bumped with Trey Savage when he went up. He had a .69 ERA in 26 innings in single A. His first start in high A was bad. I actually think he followed you, Savage, if I'm not mistaken, but he went like 4 innings, and he's bounced back in a big way. He went 4 again this weekend, 7 strikeouts, 4 scoreless. I mean, his fastball's up to 98, but sits 95 with 17, 18 inches of vert, low release height as well, like 5'5" release height. He creates good horizontal break as well, and a pretty flat vertical approach angle. He's got a mid-80s slider with depth to it. Changeup has 15 inches of fade in the upper 80s. It's pretty good stuff. So Stanifer needs to show he can go deeper in games. Like he's maxed at 4 innings this year, so he needs to show he can go a little deeper. I think that'll be important. But if he does, he can really move up the ranks. But I'd be mistaken if I didn't mention Cedric De Grandpre of the Braves. This was a draftee in 2022, 13th rounder, Chipola Junior College, so a little younger. But he was good in 2023. He got some buzz, and he had TJ, unfortunately. So he missed all of 2024. He came back and dominated the complex, and then he made his first full season start this past weekend. He went straight to high A. He didn't go back to Augusta. He went to high A Rome, and he dominated. 6 no-hit innings with 10 strikeouts and 2 walks. Fastball's up, guys. He was 91, 94 before. He's now like 94 regularly and touching 97. So that's pretty notable. He's got a good changeup with fade in the mid-80s. He's got a slider in the mid-80s with good depth to it, and he's added a new cutter to the profile. Cedric De Grandpre. That's D-E space Grandpre. Right-handed pitcher, Atlanta Braves. Let's take a quick break, and we will get back to more talking some hitters. All right, few hitters needed the kind of weekend that Eric Bitonti had of the Milwaukee Brewers. Bitonti is a big power bat. He's young. He's 18. I think he just turned 19. He's in single A. This is a guy that desperately needed something to go his way. He broke on the scene last year at the complex. He went to single A Carolina and was good to end the year, but contact was a concern. That was my concern coming in. But Bitonti struggled. He didn't hit his first home run until May the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. And so a month of no homers, bad contact. I saw Bitonti for a week. And I saw some good, but I saw a lot of bad. But he's a good athlete for a 6'5" lefty. He swings it well. Bitonti, though, 4 home runs over the weekend, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Much, much needed. He's got big power. The question is, will the long levers work against better pitching? He's in single A right now. He's 19. I do think Bitonti will make a swing change over time. Actually, if you want to hear more about that, go check out the Call Up podcast with R.M. Layton and Jack McMullen. They actually sat down with the Brewers director of player development, and Bitonti was one of the talking points. So there's some interesting talk there about kind of letting him develop, and then as he gets more comfortable, making the adjustments as he needs. And as he really struggles, you don't make adjustments on the players when things are going well, but Bitonti probably makes an adjustment with time to get to more contact. So good weekend from Bitonti, much needed. So he's somebody to keep an eye on. Carter Jensen's another one who's really picked it up. He got off to a slow start, but he really picked it up in May. So in May, he slashed 312, 379, 450. The underlying data was really good for Carter Jensen. So he needed to see it kind of come together. So the data and the performance, and now it's happening. He had a good weekend. He was a double shy of the cycle on Saturday and had 2 more hits on Sunday. So he did homer on Saturday. Contact rates have risen all year. It's like a 79% overall contact rate and an 85% end zone rate. And it's a good approach. He chases less than 20% of the time, and there's big EVs as well. He's topped out at 115, which is impressive. And behind the plate, Carter Jensen's thrown out 28.5% of base runners. So pretty good stuff there. Jensen's a pretty good athlete, in my opinion. I've seen him in person quite a bit. I like the profile, and I think that Jensen might be the Royals catcher of the future. They've got Blake Mitchell. He's younger, but Jensen could be there sooner than later. I wouldn't be shocked. So good weekend for Carter Jensen for sure. Kyle DeBarge is he's had a great year, and I've realized that I've neglected to write about DeBarge all year. He had a good year at Louisiana Lafayette last year that led to him being drafted in the comp round. He got a $2.4 million bonus, and he was bad last year in single A. In his pro debut, he went to the Florida State League and was bad. But the script has been flipped with DeBarge. He reached base 4 times on Sunday with 2 hits and 2 walks, and he blasted a big home run on Saturday. He's slashing 278, 404, 450 with 5 homers and 16 extra base hits in 44 games. DeBarge isn't flashy. He's not going to be one of those players that overwhelms you with exit velocities. He's small, but the approach is good. He doesn't chase. He makes a lot of contact, and he hits the ball at ideal launch angles. He hits the ball in the air at a 62% clip, and he has a 55% pull rate on fly balls. So naturally, if you're pulling fly balls and you're making a lot of contact, you're going to get some balls that leave the yard, and that's what Kyle DeBarge is doing. He will be one of those guys that probably hits more home runs than the exit velocity suggests, but DeBarge is one of those guys that he's angles for days and a lot of contact, and that's a really good profile to like and invest in. So really like what he brings to the table. Brooks Brannon, dude, this guy's impressive, by the way. Talk about another, we talked about some catchers on the show, but Brooks Brannon's impressive, and nobody talks about Brooks Brannon. Red Sox catcher in high A. I tried to pump him last year because in the AFL, dude was mashing. Like, he put up several 110 pluses. I think he topped at like 114 in the AFL. Well, guess what? This year, Brooks Brannon has hit a ball 120 miles an hour. That's legit confirmed. This ball, he hit off the Green Monster in Floorfield in Greenville, and it was like probably like a 10-degree launch. And it took like 3 seconds to hit the wall. He hit it so hard, hit off the wall so fast, he had a single. And it was down the right or the left field line pulled. He's got a really, really powerful stroke. It's a compact body, but strong, like thick thighs, very, very strong, tightly wound type. He's cut the strike. He struck out at a 33% clip in April, was down at 24% in May. The power's off the charts. He popped a couple home runs last week. He has a 9-game hitting streak and has been on base 22 times in those 9 games, which is crazy. 2 homers on Saturday, 1 to the opposite field, 1 to deep left center. I was in Spartanburg on Thursday or on Saturday, so I didn't see that, but I was in Greenville Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So I did see a lot of Brannon, and he did a lot of damage. So I've seen a lot of Brannon just with him there in general. He's fun. There's no approach. He rarely takes a walk, but when he connects, there is legit damage. I think he's improving as a catcher, honestly. He's seen the pop times improve. He's around 2 seconds, which not bad on the pop. And he's got a decent arm. So whether he sticks or not, I don't know. But I think it could work regardless. Brooks Brannon is a lot of fun with the bat. One more before we get out of here, and that's Angel Genao, who really excited about. I think he's ready to go back to an affiliate at this point. He returned from an injury 10 days ago at the complex, and he's finally settling in. He homered on Friday and Saturday and had 5 hits over those 2 days. Remember, this was a big breakout last year, who hit 330, 379, 499, 10 home runs, and 52 extra base hits. Stolen 25 bases on 30 attempts last year. Really good underlying data, good approach, good contact, and respectable EVs. He does hit the ball on the ground a lot. That's the biggest question, but and now legit could be a top 15 prospect, I believe. I think this could be a major breakout. And he looks healthy. He's now finding his stroke back at the complex. I think tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll see him back in an affiliate, and it could be really good stuff. So Angel Genao did not move in my ranks despite the injury. I didn't move him down. I did move Jason Churio down, just given the fact that he's been on and off the field. It's been bad performance. It's shoulder related. Not great. But now I'm expecting big things from. So it's going to do it. That's the weekend recap. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you all week. We'll have a DSL recap in the morning, so I'm looking forward to that. But folks, it's always good to be with you. Minor League Baseball is the best. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your day.